And to have a deeper view about Indonesian transportation policy development, we have Mrs. Eka Sari Lorena Surbakti, the chairman of Organda Central Board. Eka, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. It's been a while for us.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Always my pleasure to come here.
The main reason for us having you in this particular talk is talking about your latest book, Membela Angkutan Umum, or Defending the Public Transport. Let's keep this very precious discussion later on, but in the meantime, I would like to ask you about our main theme that we bring up in this talk show for this evening, Indonesian transportation policy development. When we talk about this kind of transportation policy development, where are we? How well are we progressing in terms of creating a good set of policy regarding the transportation issue?
Well, after everybody suffering from terrible congestions in many big cities in Indonesia, and number two, after everybody understand why it is so costly to transport people from point A to point B, or from this island to another island, or to do the distribution for the logistics, also very costly. And number three, since everybody felt like this has become a serious burden for them, then now more people have concern regarding how can we empower road transportation for public, also transportation for delivery goods through road transportation as well, need to be, I believe, need to be improved a lot, you know.
And more regulated in a way.
More regulated.
If you allow, yeah, please.
So finally now, in several cities, actually, the government, you know, they start to have further discussion, and they start to think about how can we revitalize road public transportation. Also the logistics side from road transportation. Now they have the concern, but actually the real situation, the what do you call that, the real action are not really there, because a lot of regulation, you know, has been decided by the Ministry of what do you call it, Minister of Industrial, Ministry of Transportation, but in the provinces cannot be established, cannot be developed. Like for example, Mendagri has new regulation that if you register your car and to your name, you will have 70% tax deduction for buses and 50% for trucks. But it should be started by this early January 2015. But until today, only less than 5 provinces, has really proceeded that regulation. So it is very challenging at the moment.
It is, yeah. It's also signaled the way our government, not only the central, but as well as the provinces, also local governments, the way they communicate. It signals something here, right? That well, coordination is not really there yet, because we talk about put all of that ideal actually regulation and the notion, but into practice it will be different story when we talk about the real action.
The real action, because I believe a lot of people think they know about public transportation or about transportation or about road transportation, but I don't think a lot of people fully understand but what are the really situation in Indonesia at the moment, because every provinces, they have a different challenges, they have a different policy since the autonomy, and everybody has a different point of view how they should embrace the economic situation in each provinces. So it's quite a challenge, especially the transportation agency in provinces. They don't report to the Minister of Transportation. They report to the governor. Their boss are not the Minister of Transportation, different from police. The police is the chief of the police in Jakarta is the boss.
Everything is centralized.
If centralized, here is decentralized. So it's quite a challenge as well.
Based on what you already observe, in a way, do you think that the enactment of this kind of decentralization somehow complicate the regulation regarding this kind of transportation issue?
Oh yes, of course. It really gave us a lot of challenges because, the coordination, the expectation are very different from Jakarta and from maybe from Sumba or from Maluku or from Papua. But I believe, the concept, the fundamental should be the same, should be centralized.
Okay,
despite of, everybody has a different need. Okay, it can be tailor-made, but the foundation, the fundamentals should be the same. So we can embrace what needs to be done in public transportation and also for logistics.
At least we need to uniform the fundamental and also the foundation issue.
Yes. Not only the uniform is the same, but also the policy.
Yes, Ms. Eka, very good start. We still have another session to discuss more about this. Next, you are listening on the Economic Buzz. We are discussing about Indonesian transportation policy development with Mrs. Eka Sari Lorena Surbakti.